Ursa's going to want that blink defusal, and they're going to want to try to get a pick off into Roche with a Morbid Mask up. It can be a little bit harder to get that launching if it doesn't roll off fast.
Well, let's get into it. Game number one. Again, you and I, all we wanted is a close matchup here between these two teams. See how this one does go down. Both teams currently tied in third place in the group stage, so wanting to try and overtake each other and, of course, rack up those points. Entity, today, have had a draw against Tundra and Boom. Actually end up getting 0-2'd, or rather 2-0'd by Beast Coast. Which is something I wasn't quite expecting seeing the early matchup, but Beast Coast showing up today and doing a fantastic job. And there you go, Boom. Probably a little bit more desperate for the points after their results in their earlier series, but again, both teams tied up in third place, so those teams equally just as much want those points. And Entity, already a very early smoke out here from the Dire boys. Wrapping around the long way through the Radiant jungle. They might run right into Tim. This could be a great setup for the first blood, though Tim sees them now. Oh, Fishman, he backed off at the wrong moment. He could have probably leveled up that Nightmare and set up for the kill, but nonetheless, I suppose even then you don't really want level 1 Nightmare during the laning stage if you can avoid it. And with that, we are going to have a very quick disconnection here from FBZ. And well, Johnny, it's not a game with an SCA team without disconnect. We've got to have at least one.
Yeah, one. I'm expecting multiple here. Boom's got to deliver the goods. Got to see multiple disconnects at some point. It shouldn't take too long, at least.
Can I just ask you, John, by the way, because I haven't asked you this yet.
Yeah.
You and I, we haven't got to cast a Talon game yet. And I just wonder how you feel about that. Like, is that bothering you inside, John? You haven't had the chance to talk. You did talk about Talon yesterday in a series that did not have Talon in them. Does it bother you that you haven't had the pleasure to speak about them at the Mage yet?
It's all right. They're playing their game. I would love to say hi to Zephyr, because he's a brother. He's a bro. Zephyr is absolutely a chill bro, but it's all right. Let them play their games. We focus on our games. And then we split the difference later on,
Very professional of you, John. Fishman can get aggressive here and actually gets the bounty rune. Just kind of outclicks them and gets the tip from Stormstormer as well. Well, there you go. Fast hands from Fishman.
Ooh.
Gets it done. In fact, did they get every single one?
Yeah.
Wow.
Awesome.
4 bounty runes the way of Entity. You can't be unhappy about that.
Yeah, you're going to have a really great start coming out here for Entity. I'm going to really work out in the mid. Bottle time is going to be a little bit greater as well. Of course, we'll take a look at that bot lane first. You do see Kataomi already down there with a Tiny up against FBZ. So a bit of a lane swap coming out from Boom, dragging FBZ down to the safe lane to deal with that Bristleback lane. Saberlight can be down there as well. So they do manage to see that swap. And you still have that Bristle versus NP lane, which again is fairly nice for Bristle. You can kind of clear out the treants. It's additional farm for you. Tim's synergy with NP, decent enough hold once you have the Sprout up, but I don't know if you really have enough damage to jump either the Tiny or the Bristle. You don't have a casual Blightstone here for FBZ to make use of Kataomi's 0 armor, so you should be fairly happy here for TSM to just, for Entity to just kind of build up, farm up, and clear out the treants.
Oh, more cute voice lines coming out here, Jonathan. Very, very upsetting to hear. Of course, mid lane, Stormstormer against Yopaj here in the Puck vs Ember matchup. We've seen this matchup many, many times, Jonathan, but if you don't mind, who should have an inherent advantage in this match?
It's Ember. You can just play around with Sleight of Fist, Melt True Stormstormer. Once you have components going into your Orb of Corrosion, it becomes a lot harder, and you can see Stormstormer just copying it. It's very hard to get the timing to dodge out with Phase Shift, so Yopaj just has better angles to be aggressive. And Rune Control is going to be equally important for both sides. Stormstormer is going to have a little bit more to play with the Orb, but Boom does have really good supports to rotate, and especially that Shaker. If Tims gets the opportunity to head towards mid at the 4-minute, 6-minute mark, that could be pretty scary for Stormstormer if he's not ready for it.
What's that fine lane as well, John? Top lane, Toby and Fishman going to be against Jackie and Skem. Razor versus Ursulane, not very fun for Jackie whatsoever, but so far he's doing decently as Toby. Get in range now to get a bit of a static link off, but only going to sap about 13 damage. Nothing to write home about. Just trying to be as annoying as possible here towards the Ursa. Toby Dropping a little bit low. Arctic Burn is going to be there with the Splinter Blast, and Jackie going to cop the Nightmare, but Scam and the Fisher. Out from Tim's going to set up for the first blood as Fishman. He's going to try to run, but boom. With the very early rotations out from Tim's, do set up for a double kill up top lane. We're only 2.5 minutes in, John, but Tim's, he's hanging around this top, and I guess Boom are currently just kind of running a tri lane.
I think they realize they can't really do much down bot with a Shaker, so you might as well get active elsewhere, try to be aggressive.
Toby, he might be making the walk of shame here. Top lane, the Razor in big trouble and is going for the walk of shame back to the back to the lane. Jackie now needs a way out. Avalanche will be there. Jackie's still somehow surviving as Tim's blocks him off. Oh, Tim's, why? Why block him off like that? Fishman. He's going to try to run now, but Tim's, he'll follow up for another kill here as Katomi. What does he get done here on the Tiny? He'll go for a toss-up onto Skem, but he might be dropping as well. What a way to start off this game number 1 here between these two teams. As FBZ's going to show up now. All right. Bring everyone to the top lane. Classic SCA Dota. Katomi gets caught out. Should be okay to run to the tree line and try to juke out for a little bit, but FBZ is going to try and have his way with Katomi as Skem gets off the Arctic Burn. Katomi eventually is going to... Well, not, maybe not. He's still juking out. Plasma Field is there. Katomi finally dropping as now Toby makes it back into the lane, but Skem, he's trapped in the tree line. He'll go down eventually. He'll try for a TP out. He's actually going to make it. Oh my goodness. Just FYI for the players on Boom, John, it's usually the mid lane that we all group up in and grief the game with, but top lane is where they've decided to do it.
No, Mike. What they're doing is a tactical lane swap. Look, Jackie heads down bot after the movement, and they suddenly get the lane they want. They want to play against the Bristle. They saw the commitment of Toby going back top, so you get the NP versus Razor lane, which was much more manageable in comparison to Jackie having to deal with a Razor. So it was, all in all, just a very complicated way of getting a full lane swap out. And it works.
It does. It does. So it's very, very interesting stuff going on here, but you love to see it. It's just action-packed game already. 5 to 1, 6 kills in 5 minutes. Now we'll see if the action is going to continue here. Lane swaps, see if it does pan out. Naturally, like you mentioned, Don, as the Ursa, you don't really want to be up against the Razor of Toby, and lane swap should definitely favor Boom Esports for now. Much prefer to go up against the Bristleback of Saberlight if you can. Speaking of Saberlight, he's had a very good time considering everyone just left his lane. Just farming up with basically free CS for a full minute while everyone was just hanging around top. And well, against Jackie, I mean, at this point, you're already almost level 5 on the Bristle. You're probably not going to care too much for the Ursa whatsoever.
Yeah, you're really not going to care. They are starting to clump mid here from both sides. Coil out.
Mid lane, Skep has been caught. Yopaj, he's going to try to move in, but there's 3 heroes around. What can he actually get done here? He'll get tossed up. Flame Guard's still going, and with the Fisher to set up Yopaj, he gets one, but now the Nightmare. Fishman gonna hold him down. He's got remnants to Yopaj. He's fine to get out as Tim's. He'll keep going on to the Bane, but does he have any spells to throw out? It doesn't seem like it. He'll go for a run now, but Fishman's still in danger as now Yopaj right back in. Tim's, he's gonna make it out on Yopaj. He'll take the kill on the Ember. 7-2, 6 minutes in, Jonathan. This is a real action-packed game already.
This really is, and I don't think we've seen Boom be this active in the CDPC in a while. They're kicking it into gear here in the majors. Very strong start for them. For Entity, it's not the worst thing in the world. You are getting farm elsewhere. Boom are committing a lot of resources to get this aggression out. They will manage to find Saberlight, so that's the exact kill they'd want. I am curious about this build-up from Jackie. We've seen this before, Mike. He is going back for the Battle Fury Ursa in this game, where it feels like you might get a lot of value out from the Diffusal, but he loves this Battle Fury.
Katomi, trouble now top lane. Paj, he does have remnants up. In fact, he's going to just move in the old-fashioned way, just using his legs as Toby. Going to try and chase him down, but it feels like he's being baited as the Wrath does come in from FBZ and Toby. Look how low they're dropping as the remnant forward from Yopaj. Oh, it's perfect, right into the mid lane as well. Stormstormer, he'll go for a run, but Yopaj, he's out of control already. Look at this Ember John, just all over the map as Stormstormer. He's going down. FBZ the one to take the kill as Fishman. He'll try to run with the chains around the Ember. Once again setting up as Fishman. He might make it out. And now the mass TP's into the mid lane here from Entity to try and salvage the situation as Skem. He'll go for a run on the Winter Wyvern. The chase is on though on the teammates. Alright, by him is Toby. He can't secure the kill. In comes Katomi. Flying onto the Ember for Yopash. He dukes out everything. Just walks right away as Entity. They get nothing for their trouble. Absolutely nothing.
Well, you asked for that mid standoff, Mike.
Here it is.
7 heroes down mid. That is buying a lot of space out for Saberlight. This bristleback is still getting pretty damn fat, and I think Entity's just going to have to build off the back of that. Vanguard already up for Saberlight, Soul Ring up, going for the Ags next. He is still going to hit his timings. That is still something Boom's going to have to try to contend with. And how they deal with that without something like the early defusal on Ursa, they're going to have to get creative. Yopaj is already building up quite fast. Maybe you can just play around with the Ember and the rotations out from the NP at that point. As they do chill out a bit, lanes do split up, and be clumping down bot though.
Let's see what they can get done here. Skem, he is around to break the smoke, and Fishman still trying to move in as Jackie. He's going to try and go for the fight. In comes FBC as well, but Skem in big trouble is going to go down first. Entity off to a good start. Katomi going to survive for now as Jackie going to get tossed away and get controlled and kited up, but a nice Fisher is out from Timms as Jackie. He'll go for a run, but Fishman now being caught out on the Bane. In fact, Timms, he's the one being chased down here by the side of Entity and eventually should just drop and will. Yopash, however, here he comes. Katomi's gone down. Fishman, very low on that tree line. Yopash will catch him out as well. A double already on the Ember. So he does salvage. Entity, they had a great start to the fight, but this Ember moving in, going after Toby now. Remnants are up, but he'll wait for the chains first. And in fact, he thought he was in the tree line. Goes for the sleight of fist, but misses. And with that, I mean, who do you call it a win for, John? Because it was a very even engagement down at bot.
I'd say you're slightly happier in Entity. Very even trade overall, but that's some important kills to kind of give towards Saberlight as well to help him accelerate. It is starting to give some room out for Boom. We're getting a good shove out up top with FBZ's Nature's Prophet just summoning around. They are lacking ways to really lock in Yopaj, which is a big issue right now.
Dream call out Stormstormer. He just does not want to deal with this guy right now. Saberlight just trying to farm the Ancients while he can. Yopaj just going to terrorize him while he can as well. Saberlight, let's keep going. Toby's around the area to try and help out, but just look at this guy. How confident is he? He's constantly moving in onto Saberlight. They'll nightmare him up. Just hold him down for a little bit. And there's your Fiend's Grip. It's overly confident from Yopaj this time around as Fishman does just lock him down and take him out, and that's going to be quite a bit of gold going back the way of Toby.
And that's a pretty big kill for Entity to find. Not having the backup to break off that grip, Tim's not being in that general area, are eyeing up top. Could get a good Fisher, but doesn't quite block in Katomi, so not going to get the opportunity. Still, Entity, I mean, they're finding certain trades that are working out for them. The Ags are still building up for Saberlight. We're seeing the Witchblade being finished off by Stormstorm. We're still a ways off. Boom, though, have room to push down mid. That is where their lineup sort of shines. You can kind of split push with the NP, apply pressure all around the map, and just kind of get going from there.
Here we go again. Fishman gonna try and TP out while he can, and should be just fine to do so. And Stormstormer, he'll jaunt out there on the puck. It does feel like Entity, they're just waiting for this timing on Saberlight, right? Like, he's having a great old time on the Bristleback, top of the net worth board still, and getting relatively close now to getting the Aghanim Scepter. And once you've got that, it does feel like Entity, they just start to move as a unit.
Yeah, you can just use that Bristleback as the Vanguard, or take the brunt of the damage for the team, and just kind of do a lot of damage himself as well. Oh,
Oil, Skem does get caught. Nice setup here from Stormstormer, though onto the high ground he goes, and with the Cold Embrace he'll buy himself a tiny bit of time, but not quite enough. You've got to appreciate, John, the way that Entity's playing this matchup now. Just always bundled up together, making sure they're able to help if somebody gets caught, and not allowing the pickoffs to come from Boom as Fishman. I say that, I might have just jinxed him, John. He's kind of alone right now, though. Toby is going to make his way in on the Razor to try and help out, but he might need to leave straight after. This Fishman is not making it out of this one. Toby, he should be just fine. Or is he? Yopan stains around. He'll lock him down. You've got the Fishman from a mile away as well. So Toby, he's very low in HP now. But can they secure the kill? Maybe not. Yopan still going. Meanwhile, towards the south, the curse is out. Locking down Tim's. That'll be the Earthshaker gone. And in the end, Toby on the Razor, he does end up surviving.
They couldn't quite overcommit. They are still hunting for more.
Scam should go down here. Doesn't have the cold embrace to block off all this damage, and well, eventually is just going to drop Saberlight. A double kill for the Bristle. And considering how well this man's been farming this game, Jonathan, that double kill only going to help him escalate towards that Aghanim Scepter even sooner. Hell, at this stage, he might have it by 14 minutes.
Yeah, he's only 800 gold away. The timing's going to be really damn fast for Saberlight. I want to bring your attention over to FBZ, Mike. Look what he has queued up on the Nature's Prophet. He's going for the Ags on the NP with the Entangle. I don't think we've seen that ourselves in any games we've casted, because otherwise I'd ramble on about that Entangle. It sounds pretty fun. So I'm keen to see just how effective that will be, whether or not this is the build to go for, because you've got an Ursa with Battle Fury already flying out, and now you're going to have an NP with Ags. I mean, it's some good team fight control in a way. And if they are all clumped up on Entity, that could line up for, say, a big slam. A good amount of bounces around from Yopaj, Slides of Fist coming through. It can tie in quite nicely to that, along with the cleave damage from the Ursa. So, just depending on how disciplined Entity stays, this could be amazing for Boom, or kind of lackluster if they all just kind of split apart anyway.
One of those things, though, like, you kind of mentioned the fact that this Ursa does get kited around a lot this game, right? And with that Entangle from FBZ, maybe that's just kind of the idea. Just root him up and allow this Ursa to get the job done. It's kind of where I think they're trying to go with this. Because you have seen him getting kited quite a bit here on Jackie. So we'll find out very soon, John. Once the Ags is up, we'll know what the idea is. But now FBZ just farming away. And more importantly, John, speaking of Ags, Saberlight, just about 300 gold away from his own Aghanim Scepter, which, again, I think is going to be the main timing for the side of Entity to just group up as a team and really start rushing for Boom.
Yeah, they're just going to be able to run around, easy ride to max Warpath, drop a lot of armor, slow down the Ursa from trying to run around on top of them, and just complicate that process for Boom to play. Still smoke out from Boom here. Neoposh and Tim's looking for someone to jump on. Still no blink up on Tim. Relatively early in the game, but they might find a decent target in Stormer here.
Just use the orb as well. Stormer. Oh, Kane's not going to land. Fisher is there, however, but Stormer will draw back towards the low ground, and Fishman will TP over to try and help out. Nightmare is there, but it will be taken by Scammers Toby now, and the rest of the cavalry doing income. Saberlight, he gets right to work. Curse is out, but it's not doing too much. Yopaj to the right side, though, has been caught out, but still is fine. Meanwhile, Entity, they continue chasing for more, already getting Tim's down. And Yopaj, he is eventually going to drop here to Stormer and Fishman. Really nice turnaround from Entity. And again, it's really unfortunate timing for Boom, because you just got the Ags up on the Bristle. Saberlight, he was more than happy to see that fight break out.
Yeah, and off the back of those kills, they go straight into the Roche. They've got the minus armor, they've got the damage coming in from Saberlight. Without Yopaj around, this is not something you can easily contest on Boom. You need that mobility of Yopaj in here with the Ember. And the Roche is just going to fall way too fast for them to even contest. So a great pickup by Entity, dragging this game towards their way now with the Ags pickup. 2 lives up on Saberlight. Very durable on the Bristle. Boom might not be kitted out to deal with that. And again, they're playing a much more farm-heavy game with Jackie on the Ursa. With a Battle Free, he is building up nicely, but his timings are a bit slower because of that.
Certainly is. Certainly is, John. And see if Entity can kind of take advantage of that. Now, Liner worthy to go their way. Definitely a bit of a greedier style of play here from Boom, and even FBZ with the Ags that you talked about earlier. Doesn't really want to get too involved in these team fights, but rather wants the Ags up before he gets involved. It does feel like you are at the stage of the game right now where Entity should have the advantage and should kind of be leading as to where this game goes. They'll take the time and just keep that farm up for now. Boom, they'll do the exact same, just trying to catch their way up. BKB is very important as well for Boom this game. We'll see Yopaj trying to farm that up ASAP. Though his biggest problem does seem to be the Bane, naturally, just with that Bane's grip, and I need to see a Lincoln's later on. Ignore Fishman. There he is, right by the Ember. Yopaj trying to hunt him down as FBZ. Thinking about showing up, but doesn't. And Entity just fine here down at the bot side. Meanwhile, top though, Toby's being watched here by Skem. I think the really have the numbers to make the jump in though, so Toby's going to be just fine.
Just a bit of a lull as they keep building up. I think the next step for both sides are those blink pickups that you'd really want. You're going to want to see Kataomi with the blink on the Tiny, still a little already up and running, so they could start to play aggressive with that. Dream Coil tossback is going to be a big possibility for them. Tim's still waiting up for his own blink on that Shaker, but that might be sooner rather than later, about 400 gold away. So you're going to have more tools for both sides to play with. Yopaj is not going to have to risk himself every single time now. He will have a little bit more leeway to have maybe Tim's cop that grip if he so chooses. Still, Age is still up and running for Entity. Shove in onto the mid. Boom, not keen on over-committing for that defense. They understand that we can afford to kind of give that away. We already took their mid tower. This just equalizes the map a bit more. They've just got to dodge that Bristle while he's at his peak. And, just get their own timings up and running before they try to handle that problem.
Lane Tims. Oh, Dream Coil, just the nick of time. Stormer. Getting there right as the TP was about to end. Happy days for him as mid lane. Bean's Grip is out again. Oh, they've caught the Ember another time. Or have they? Yopaj barely remnanting out. Somehow avoiding all the damage of Saberlight. He'll at least try for FBZ. Maybe he can get the profit, but no, there's no way to cancel the TP. He's just fine. They missed out on the Ember. At least they might find Skem, but no, he's also fine. Everyone just TP's out.
And that's pretty much on edge for Boom, but they do manage to expend a lot of time out from Entity. So they're not going to be able to get as much as they'd want. Jackie is kind of ready to go with his blink here if they want to really engage.
They can. He's only just about 100 gold away from his own blink here, John. Love that on the Shaker. So Entity going to huddle down towards the bottom lane as FBZ going to be scouted. He does have TP available, but Katomi already in with the Avalanche and Toss combination. FBZ, I mean, he's going to try, but there's just no way out. Just way too much damage from Entity. And with that, they can certainly look to set up on that bottom T2 tower if they wish to do so. And they just feel so powerful right now with this draft. And I think they just may. Saberlight, he's feeling confident.
Yep, he understands how strong he is at this moment in the game. His here is just very hard to kill off, very durable. Once he has his BKB, that pretty much ties in the entire equation here for Saberlight. Side of Boom, again, just not keen on fighting. Age is only about 40 seconds away. Smoke out from Boom, though. If they time this right, this could be a pretty big kill. They just need to be a bit patient on that Aegis.
Got the blink up on Tim's, John. Saberlight dropping very low, but again, the Aegis 20 seconds away from expiring. See how well Boom can try and time this as they'll let the T2 bottom tower drop and Tim's. They'll literally just stalk Saberlight here on the Bristleback. 14 seconds for it. Smoke broken though by Katomi. Yopaj still trying to move in as Saberlight trying to take the outpost. 5 more seconds for that Aegis. They're waiting very patiently, but no, it's gone. The Flame Guard takes it out. And now the reset will be there for Entity as the Fiend's Grip gonna hold down the Ember again. Oh, boy, he just can't get away from Fishman. This Bane is terrorizing him, the Ember.
Yeah, they've always got a great target on site. It's a bit of an issue. I think Yopaj is starting to rely on a fissure break to stop that grip, but Silence came out right in the nick of time. The Dream Coil pushed the supports away from Yopaj. And now, with these big kills, Entity have a clear path onto the high ground. Tier 3 already being taken 21.5 minutes in. Jackie's still not ready to take these fights without the BKB. And Tower stays alive. They temper the aggression here on Entity, but you see how much they can do with just a couple of pickoffs. 4K lead already for Entity as Boom. They still need to play this patience game. FBZ is one part away from the Ags. And we've got to see the impact of that, whether or not that enables Jackie enough to jump in the middle of the front lines here. And for Yopaj, I'm not sure how you fix the grips. Like, and Lincoln sounds like the best idea, but that's a lot of farm that he doesn't quite have on the Ember with all these stats. They will go for a smoke play out here, though.
They will. Katomi's the nearest target they have. Not the biggest kill for him, but they might just have to settle for something. They will go after the Tiny. Jackie, right in, will take the kill. Nice easy one there for Boom. Again, not the most impactful kill in the world, but considering the way this game's gone, Boom will just kind of take anything they can get right now, and just allow Jackie to get to the top of the net worth board as well in the Ursa. While Entity have the 3k net worth advantage, still be very wary. Anyone's game thus far. And now the Ag's up as well, John. See how much this does for FBZ.
Yeah, I'd really love to see a 3.8 second entangle, 60-second cooldown, lots of uptime. So, you know, it can be quite active. That's something they can set their tempo here on Boom's end.
Smoke out. This could be terrible timing for Entity, John. They have not seen that Ags up yet. Entity. Well, they'd love to find the Ember once again. They've got the Fiend grip up. Yopaj, he breaks the smoke. Toby, gonna be spotted. They'll make the jump in. Instead, onto Skem. Take down the Wyvern first. Skem, they'll go for a cold embrace and try to survive through it. Meanwhile, Jackie will BKB TP out and they'll let Skem die. It's just not the fight they wanted. They have no vision around the area, so Boom, they do leave. Only losing their pos 5 Wyvern. Entity, well, this area is suddenly theirs now.
They've got another tower to take. They've got a great angle for the tier 2. Boom are still getting farm elsewhere. Both Jackie and FPZ are managing to kind of keep pace. Jackie's still number 1 in that fort. FPZ trailing right behind Stormer and Saberlight. Pretty significant gap for FPZ and Yopaj, but they are at least getting some itemization going. FPZ going for the AC next. Yopaj still gunning for that Kaya Stange. Stat resist coming out and a little bit more damage coming through as well. No sign of Lincoln's coming out, and that lack of protection is a little bit scary. BKB is there, but that single target grip is still massive, and you can just take a look at that level disparity from all the kills NTT have found onto Yopaj. Stormer is 19 now in the pot. Like Yopaj is still level 14. It's level 15 now. It's been a much slower game for him after starting off in a wild way, just because, well, he went a bit too far forward a couple of times.
Regeneration.
We go again, John. Boom. Smoking up, trying to get something done here, but which way are they headed? And that level disparity you just talked about, obviously a massive issue here for Boom. Entity as well, all grouped up. 5-man smoke, and they're going to run right into each other. Yopaj, they'll break the smoke with the Fiend's grip. Right out with the Fisher. This time around does cancel the entangles. They do come in now. Katomi, he might just drop too early with the Echo Slam. Is there in time from Tiz before he does end up going down a Saberlight? He'll keep moving forward. They've lost Jackie on the Ursa. Boom, playing without their pos 1 now. It's not looking good for them. There's FBZ. Well, he's going to try and get his way out of this, but there's just no chance in hell. Entity once again cleaning up as Jackie cops the tip from Toby. I didn't quite see what happened there with Jackie and how he died. I'm not sure if we have a replay of that moment, John. Did you happen to see what happened?
Yeah, he split off in that fight. He went towards the right flank down the staircase while the rest of the team was still playing on the upper area of that jungle. And he was isolated. It's an Ursa trying to chase down a Razor. The kiting issue still came out. And he just melted. You know, his BKB was not enough to keep him alive. Physical output of Entity was still higher. Off the back of that fight, Entity now 7k lead up. And they've just got opportunities to shrink the map. Top tier 2 being pushed in by Saberlight. Yopaj is around, but it doesn't feel like he has the output to deal with Bristleback at this point anymore. And the side of Entity, they're just going to be able to choke out the map. You still need a lot more to come through onto Jackie. You kind of still need a lot more on Yopaj and FBZ as well. And the map is pretty damn small to sustain all of these heroes to hit their timings.
I mean, it's a really nice lead now for Entity. Almost 8k their way in terms of net worth advantage. They just don't seem to be planning on slowing down anytime soon here. Roshan is there to take if they do wish, but it seems like they'll wait it out for now. For Boom Esports, they're also going to hang around the Roshan pit and make sure it doesn't get taken for free. Entity certainly looking at that as their next objective here is Stormer. Making himself into the Roshan pit as the smoke is going to be out from Entity. Another 5-man smoke. Into the Radiant Triangle they go here. Entity will have their smoke broken on Stormer. He's not afraid though. He'll make the jump in on the Ember. Dream Call is out as well. BKB available, but Yopaj really waiting this one out as Stormer. Going after Jackie, but the Ursa. But now he's trying to back his way out. Still Toby, just sapping so much damage. They do find Skem and Jackie. He's dropping very low on that Ursa. One more hit would do it with the curse. It's there in time from Skem. Saberlight, he can't quite make it in time, but he'll jump right into the base. He does not give a crap. This man's a Giga Chad. Right onto Skem. This Wyvern, he might just be dying back immediately. And he will go Paj even. Top lane getting taken down by Stormer. Terrible news here for Boom Esports, but Entity just looking so damn strong. Not taking their foot off the pedal once during this game number 1.
Yeah, and we talked about it for Boom right when they picked that Ursa. They need a few more stabs to just get him out of the Razor's range. And they don't have it. Every single time Toby just runs up, gets the static blink off, gets the Talbot off, Jackie just can't do anything.
Look at Toby. What a setup onto Tim's and Jackie. Finding both of them here as Jackie. He's forced to try and fight back, but how do you do so? He's surrounded. He'll try to run down towards the south and blink away and for a TP out. And he is going to make it. Tims won't be so lucky, and John, while all that was happening, Roshan really taken by Entity as well.
Bottom tower is under attack.
Yeah, they give the shard over onto Toby just to help with the chase onto that Ursa. It's such a tough game for Jack. He just uses damage, uses farm. He can't stand in a fight from the Razor there. And without any force staffs to get him away from it, I mean, he just loses all his damage. It's happened twice in a row now.
Easy. He's going to try for a TP out. The Nightmare is going to be there from Fishman. And FBZ is going to go down here on the Prophet as well. Even more bad news to go the way of Boom Esports. And once again, Entity just really taking advantage of these spikes they've had throughout this game 1. And it just doesn't seem like they need to slow down anytime soon, John. It just feels like they just keep going. Just keep being aggressive.
They've got... It's the nature of Bristleback. Once this hero's on a snowball start, it's very hard to slow that down.
He's found Skep this time around, John. It's just been an excellent Bane performance here from Fishman.
Yeah, he's just been on point with his targets. Every single time. His kills on Yopaj were the real big ones that allowed the Entity to regain some of that early to mid-game momentum that was kind of lacking from the laning phase.
Stormer, he's deep. Tims, he's going to be fine. Meanwhile, the Puck really playing around here with Boom, just duking and jiving. While Saberlight, he's not so much juking, John. He's just running right at Boom every time he gets a chance. Jackie, going to go for a jump in on the Bristle. Doesn't really get too much damage out, though. Saberlight, that secondary life anyway, so feeling rather confident to just frontline for the team. Entity. Seems like they'll go after a tier 2 mid tower here. This Boom trying to defend this. Like a rather difficult defense to try and make here for Boom. And it's Saberlight. He's making such short work of that tier 2 mid tower anyway. Jackie is going to try and walk in, make the Aegis go down, and does do so as the Dream Coil was there on Yopaj. Now the curse out onto Toby, just putting a halt to the static link. Saberlight, he's right back in on the Bristleback. Onto FBZ he goes. He's already found the Prophet. FBZ, he's going to be saved by the Cold Embrace for a moment, but it won't last long. Now this Bristleback is just completely out of control.
Just ripping everyone to shreds. With no break on Boom, there's no way to stop them up. They're going to have a way of making a face for it as well. The curse that's coming out from Skem haven't been able to line up and actually forcing these big cores onto a target. It's just to stop them from chasing down Jackie for the most part. And the big issue now for Boom is I don't know where their team fight's going to be coming in from. Right, like they're jumping around with Yopaj. Sometimes you get to see some great slams out from Tims, but for the most part, Entity's just been able to really just focus on Jackie, take away that damage source, and the rest of Boom just crumbles. Yopaj is really way too far behind on the Ember to work his magic just yet. Has the Kaya up, needs the Kaya Sanj, needs the Ags to be up, and probably a refresh as well. So much more gold Yopaj needs to put the game on his back. So right now, it's really just sort of the Jackie show for now. He's got the Basher, but they need ways to bring Jackie away from the Razor. Because when Toby comes in, it's either you use that Winter's Curse or you're done for. And when you use the Curse, that is your big team, your big reliable team fight spell gone. And then you're just going to have to hope that they clump up for Tim to get the slam on, get a good fissure on top, and that you can play on top of that.
Go again, Entity. Show up down towards the bot lane, and of course Boom Esports immediately just going to TP out. Not interested in a fight whatsoever right now with Entity. 17k behind Boom Esports, and there needs to be plenty of time to farm up here for the cause of Boom. BZ, a lot of pressure on his shoulders to keep all these lanes pushed out on the Prophet. Entity, coil is there. They caught the Ember once again in the coil. It ends up snapping here on the Ember. Oh, Yopaj ends up going down once again as now Jackie getting caught out by Saberlight. He'll go for the man fight and try onto the Bristleback. All this nades will do. He's going nowhere. He'll be forced to BKB up and just go for a run. Blink away, but in goes the puck once again. Stormstormer just not giving up, and now Tim just getting jumped right by Saberlight. Into Jackie they go once again, and that'll be another. Oh my goodness. These guys are relentless, Jonathan.
Yep. Just keeping up the pace. They know that it is kind of lineup when you're ahead. You just stay ahead. The lineup of Boom isn't geared up to deal with that piling snowball effect. They tried to split push out with FTZ, gets a little bit of a shove up top, and is shoving down bot as well. He does have the shard up and running, but presence of his entry hasn't really been felt. I don't think we've even seen any great entangled from the Wrath of Nature. It just doesn't feel relevant at all in these fights. And now onto the high ground, Saberlight goes. Nothing to stop him. Tier 2 just melts onto the Rex. They do have a curse on Scam, but what are you really aiming for in that curse to really split apart an instant?
Sure, John. It's been a very tough game here for Scam. Just no good curses coming out this game, and props to Entity. They've been very good with their positioning this game, I'd argue. And Midrax does go down. 22k advantage now the way of Entity, and well, Boom, they're not out of the game quite yet, but it is a very rough affair for them. It's going to be all about that next Roshan here for this game number 1. Entity, I mean, should have first dibs on that next Roshan, but it is going to be quite a bit of time away till we find out when it is going to spawn up anyway. Seems like they'll need a few targets to try and go after, and Jackie may show himself mid lane here on the Ursa. Saberlight might be able to make a jump in and start a fight once again, but there is going to be a smoke out. Boom. They'll see the Bristle. Problem is his whole team is behind him, just waiting as the Echo is going to be committed, but where's the damage output? It did nothing. A nice curse though, Scam. Going to try and turn this one around. The feed drip, however, holding down Jackie on the Ursa, and he's gone once again. I mean, you saw the Echo being committed, John. It just did no damage. Onto another. Yeah. They found FBZ.
Ooh.
Yopaj, he does get Saberlight. It's a massive pick off for the Ember. He still ends up going down, however. But I suppose it is a decent trade for him at the least. Problem is Entity. They get the better end of the team fight. Now they're onto the high ground, trying to find a bit more as Stormstormer. In onto the Earthshake up Tims. Run back towards the fountain and does make it. Oops. They are onto that bottom tier 3 tower now. Even without the Bristleback, they just don't seem to care.
Yeah. There's no big depth to come through here.
Yeah. Getting ripped a new one here is Yopaj. He's going to commit the buyback. He'll find, hopefully, this tiny is Katomi. Somehow surviving, but finally goes down. But now Yopaj, silent stuff, cannot make it away from Toby. Dieback immediately on the Ember. Now this Pod Rax surely goes down the way of Entity. No way of stopping it. John, keep in mind, this is without Saberlight being here. That's the concerning part.
Yeah, Boom are just kind of crumbling to the aggression coming out from Entity. They've just been non-stop running. Was Boom doing this earlier on in the game, first 10 minutes, then past the point, Entity got enough space on Saberlight, stood together's 5, never gave openings. Boom, they did get overly aggressive. Yopaj running up, attempting Fate up against the Bane, gets punished for it like 2 times in a row. That's what really set them back here on Boom. Now, they can still have a couple of plays on hand. They've got the Roche clearing ability with the Ursa. That is still something they can play around. They still have a great curse that can potentially come out from Scam. Just doesn't really feel like we've seen any of those big curses at all. So it's just been really tough going here for the Winter Wyvern. But they still have tools. It is 30k behind. It's much easier for Entity, and Boom. The angles they have to make this game turn their way are very limited.
They are. Go again. Coil is there. Stormstormer will hold them down. Jackie, a bit of a sitting duck here as the Wyvern. Gonna drop it now. The feed trip. Hold down the Ursa. He's still surviving for a little bit, but not for long. BKB just does not matter against Bristleback. Burst it down so darn easily, and now Entity. They might just go for the final lane of barracks. Nothing to get in their way.
Radiant's bottom has fallen. Radiant's courier has been Radiant's top tower.
Saberlight, keep going. Echo being committed here from Stim. They actually found the puck, but not quite. Phase shift is there. He might have a chance to get out as Yopaj. We'll try to chase him down, but no, the slide of fist. It doesn't end up connecting either. The Entity, they're just fine to get out with a full stack.
Yep. They back off. Only one set of racks standing here for the side of Boom. Entity 35k lead, 18 to 39. Boom still trying to hang on, still trying to work something out, but this is Entity's game to lose now. They're in a massive lead. They're pretty much fully slotted up in Saberlight. Bristleback just feels unkillable at this point. Max stack of Warpath, giving him a nice cozy 800 damage per right click. Seems just about right here. Roshan is up. They're going to go for a smoke play here, Entity.
There we go again. Saberlight. It's forward. No fear in the world here on that Bristleback. Meanwhile, Jackie already getting all his damage snapped away on the Ursa. Coil is there, but this Ursa just can't do anything. Jackie's gone. Tim's is also gone with the shakedown. They're just stuck in the tree line trying to get out, but GG's call. They've had enough. A very one-sided affair here from Entity. And John, I'd love to hear your opinion on why it was such a one-sided affair, because it was a great start to this game 1 for Boom. Such aggression, so much success in those earlier stages of the game, but after that, you hit that mid-game, you get the Ags up on Saberlight, and they just get going. There was just no coming back from it.
Yeah, I think there were a couple of things that went wrong. Number one, Yopaj got overly aggressive, got punished twice in a row by some really great position coming out from Fishman, catching out with Bane, managed